Behind the scenes at Tesla, a revolution may be brewing that promises to put an end to the lithium era. Even with the near-absolute dominance of lithium-ion batteries, present in about 95% of electric vehicles sold worldwide, signs of this technology saturation are becoming evident. Prices have soared, fire risks remain a concern, and technical advancements appear to have reached a limit. But amid this stagnation, a new alternative is beginning to take shape: the aluminum-ion battery. A much more abundant material, potentially safer and promising to offer superior energy density, everything indicates that we are facing a historic turning point for the electric car industry. Although the project is still shrouded in secrecy, rumors about Tesla's testing are already attracting attention. There's talk of a battery capable of storing up to 3 times more energy than a traditional lithium-ion cell, and at a lower cost. Still in the adjustment and validation phase, this technology appears to be part of Elon Musk's plans to replace lithium once and for all. The goal isn't just to improve what already exists, but to create a new paradigm, one capable of rendering current models obsolete in short order. If Tesla truly goes all in on this technology, the impact will be profound and immediate. After all, dependence on lithium has always been a weak point, both due to the concentration of reserves in a few regions and price instability. By adopting aluminum, the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust, the company would free itself from a system that limits its production and costs. This would place the automaker in a unique strategic position. And, as expected from Tesla, none of this will happen quietly. Even without an official date for the commercial launch, the signs already point to a path being mapped out quickly and precisely. The most fascinating thing is imagining how a seemingly simple technology can transform an entire industry. Aluminum, which has always been used in structures and car bodies, could now become the protagonist in energy storage. Tesla must begin this transition quietly, with small clues coming from its labs, until the world realizes that something gigantic is about to happen. This change also connects with an even greater ambition: to truly popularize electric vehicles. Currently, the price of batteries represents one of the biggest barriers for those who dream of owning an electric car in their garage. By drastically reducing this cost, Tesla could finally make the long-awaited $25,000 model, considered the true people's car of the electric era, viable. Besides the economy, there's another factor driving this shift: the need for real innovation. In recent years, the battery industry has evolved only in small steps. Small improvements in density or charging speed no longer excite the public. The market wants a quantum leap, and Tesla, as always, wants to be at the forefront of that leap. Even without official details being released, everything indicates that the plans are serious. If the energy density predictions are confirmed, we could witness a complete revolution in the automotive market. There's talk of batteries capable of reaching $700 watt-hours, compared to the modest $180 to $250 watt-hours of current lithium cells. This means storing up to 3 times more energy in the same space. In practical terms, a Tesla electric car equipped with this battery could travel 700 to 1,000 miles, 100 to 1,600 kilometers, on a single charge, something unthinkable by today's standards. Imagine a Model 3 capable of driving from São Paulo to Rio Grande do Sul without needing to stop to recharge. Even if some efficiency is lost across the system, the numbers would still be impressive, and this would directly touch drivers' most sensitive issue: autonomy. The fear of running out of charge in the middle of the road has always been a major obstacle to the mass adoption of electric vehicles. With aluminum taking center stage, this fear may finally disappear. The most incredible thing is that this transformation won't require radical changes to the vehicle's structure. We're talking about an evolution that can happen from the inside out, and that has everything it takes to redefine the future of electric cars as we know them. Everything indicates that the real revolution will come from the heart of the system, the battery. And this change alone will transform absolutely everything. But it won't just be range that will attract attention. With much more energy stored per kilogram, Tesla engineers will be able to reduce the size of battery packs without sacrificing performance. This means lighter, more efficient cars with better interior space utilization. Range increases, fuel consumption per kilometer decreases, and even performance can improve, all simply by changing the battery chemistry. From the outside, you might not even notice the difference, but inside, The transformation will be gigantic. This new energy density opens doors that previously seemed unreachable: residential storage, electric trucks, and even electric-powered airplanes. Sectors previously limited by lithium are beginning to become possible. With more energy and less space, a new world of opportunities unfolds. It's as if Tesla is creating not just a new generation of cars, but the energy foundation for an entire electric ecosystem. And aluminum will be key to this expansion. The most interesting thing is that the company won't need to reinvent its vehicles from scratch. It will simply need to adapt existing models, such as the Model Y and Model 3, to accommodate the new battery modules. This will make the transition much faster and more cost-effective. Unlike other technological revolutions that require new designs and factories, Tesla will be able to transform a simple battery swap into a new generation of electric cars. The marketing strategy may be discreet, but the impact will be dramatic. With more energy per kilogram and less space, an advantage that has been hampered for years by the high cost of batteries emerges. Accessibility. And this is where aluminum shows its full potential. Unlike lithium, expensive and concentrated in a few regions, aluminum is abundant. It represents more than 8% of the Earth's crust. This means Tesla will no longer depend on a handful of countries to maintain its production. And, let's face it, for a company that wants to lead global electrification, this is liberating. This abundance also brings an extraordinary consequence: the possibility of creating a long-range electric car at the price of a budget car. Projections indicate that the cost of aluminum batteries could be between $40 and $65 per kilowatt hour, while lithium batteries range from $80 to $145. When we multiply this by the average pack capacity, between 60 and 80 kWh, the difference represents thousands of dollars saved per vehicle. In practice, a Model Y that currently costs around $10,000 for the battery alone could have that cost cut in half. And best of all, these savings could be passed directly to the consumer. The much-talked-about $25,000 Tesla, promised by Elon Musk years ago, is gaining momentum again, this time with a real technical basis to make it viable. The most exciting thing is that all of this will happen without compromising range, safety, or performance. It won't be a cheaper car because it's inferior, but because it's smarter and more advanced. A more efficient battery, made with more accessible materials, could finally democratize electric mobility. And the impact of this cost reduction extends far beyond wealthy countries. Emerging markets like Brazil, India, and several African nations, long overlooked due to the price of electric vehicles, may finally enter the era of electrification. If Tesla truly succeeds in cutting battery costs by almost half and freeing itself from dependence on scarce materials, we will be witnessing a true global democratization of electric mobility. And this, for the future of the planet, is immense. Because the final price of an electric vehicle doesn't just depend on the dealership's sticker price, it also includes the costs of extraction, transportation, and even the geopolitical risks associated with lithium. All of this turns the sector into a veritable international chess game. With aluminum, this scenario changes completely. The metal comes from bauxite, a resource widely distributed throughout the world. In other words, the risks of dependence and sanctions virtually disappear. For Tesla, this represents a colossal strategic advantage over its competitors, who are still struggling to improve lithium battery charging. And speaking of recharging, there's another point that seems straight out of science fiction. The aluminum-ion battery promises a full charge in just 15 minutes, something that until recently seemed impossible. What's about to happen isn't a bullish bet, but a direct result of the unique properties of aluminum ions. They move 3 times faster than lithium ions within the electrolyte, and that changes everything. In practice, this means less waiting time, fewer lines at charging stations, and an experience much closer to what we have today when filling up a gasoline car, something the public has always wanted from electric vehicles. This leap in charging speed could eliminate one of the biggest bottlenecks in electric mobility. Currently, even ultra-fast charging systems take 25 to 35 minutes to reach 80% charge, and that's only under ideal conditions and at very high power stations. With aluminum-ion batteries, the scenario changes completely. It will be possible to reach 100% charge in much less time, with less heat and less wear on the system. For those who use their cars every day, app drivers, transportation professionals, or simply those who depend on their vehicle for everything, this will make a huge difference. The need to plan long stops to recharge will become a thing of the past, but the advancement isn't limited to speed. This new technology will also bring a significant leap in safety. Thermal control in aluminum batteries will be much more efficient, drastically reducing the risk of overheating, a common problem with lithium batteries, especially in extreme climates. Anyone who's seen videos of electric vehicles catching fire after crashes knows what I'm talking about. With aluminum, this instability virtually disappears. This thermal stability not only increases safety but also simplifies the car's entire cooling system. Because aluminum handles temperature variations better, it will be possible to reduce components, eliminate complexities, and even cut production costs. The result? Lighter, more efficient vehicles, even more aligned with Tesla's philosophy of doing more with less. And that's where the advantage becomes clear. A battery that charges in 15 minutes, doesn't overheat, lasts longer, and costs less. A nearly unbeatable combination. But while ultra-fast charging is already impressive, the real difference lies in durability. Unlike lithium, which progressively degrades with each charge cycle, aluminum boasts far superior durability. Even after thousands of rapid recharges, the batteries remain efficient and safe, a revolution for commercial fleets, long-haul drivers, and transportation companies. And this is where aluminum truly surprises. The latest tests indicate that these batteries can reach up to 15,000 recharge cycles without significant loss of performance, something that simply relegates lithium batteries to the past. To put this in perspective, a standard lithium battery begins to noticeably lose capacity after about 2,000 cycles, which equates to 3 to 5 years of daily use. Tesla's new battery, however, can maintain the same efficiency for up to 30 years. 30 years with virtually no degradation. This completely changes how people view their electric cars. Instead of replacing vehicles every half-decade, drivers will be able to keep them for decades without fear of losing range. For fleet companies and app-based drivers, the cost-benefit will be incomparable. Even though the initial investment is still high, it will more than pay for itself in the long run. But what makes this durability possible? The answer lies in the very nature of aluminum. Unlike lithium, which reacts unstable with oxygen and water, aluminum naturally creates a protective oxide layer, which acts as an anti-corrosion shield. This barrier prevents the material from degrading over time, ensuring greater chemical stability. Furthermore, the process of releasing and capturing aluminum ions during recharging is much more stable, avoiding one of the biggest nightmares of current batteries, the formation of dendrites. These metallic crystals grow inside the cells and can pierce the internal separator, causing short circuits, loss of capacity, and even explosions. With the new chemistry, this risk virtually disappears. Independent research, including studies conducted at universities like Stanford, has already shown that aluminum batteries can withstand tens of thousands of cycles without significant loss of performance. This opens up a huge range of applications, not only in cars, but also in residential and commercial storage systems, and even in satellites and spacecraft. And once again, Tesla seems to be thinking beyond the box. The goal isn't just to create a more efficient battery, but to build an entire lasting energy ecosystem. And if safety was previously a controversial point in discussions about electric cars, now that conversation is set to change completely. The fear of fires or explosions, so associated with lithium batteries, is about to disappear. With aluminum at the heart of the technology, the risk of spontaneous combustion drops to virtually zero. This is because, unlike lithium, aluminum doesn't react violently with oxygen or water. Even in extreme cases, such as severe collisions or exposure to high temperatures, the chance of fire is virtually non-existent. Safety, therefore, will not only lie in the sensors or monitoring systems, but in the battery structure itself. With this, the future of electric cars finally appears to be taking a decisive step towards what has always been sought: speed, safety, durability, and affordability, all in one package.